Hello, everyone. So today I was just kind of browsing around and just, looking at different things on the internet and, just having my time with God like usual. And so today I want to talk about don't underestimate God. And the reason why I chose this topic is because a lot of times we underestimate the power of God. We underestimate what he's able to do. We have to remember his words when he stated to us. He said he take the foolish thing to come find the wise. That means what we think that is impossible, God go beyond and over that. So I want to encourage every last one of y'all who are listening to this message that God is able to do all things as long as you continue to believe in him, have the faith. He has given us every instructions, every ideal of things and tools that we can use to be able to overcome the obstacles that we face every day. And like he stated, all it takes is faith of the size of a mustard seed. That little faith that you have, work with it. Continue to believe, say, you know what, God, even if I can't feel it or hear it, I still trust you. I trust you because your word said it is, that little faith, because you read his word and you want to believe in his word. So that faith right there, you exercise it. And so I have 2 points that I want to discuss on this about do not underestimate God. And so my 2 points, the first one is we misunderstand the wisdom of an all-wise God. Let me repeat that again. We misunderstand the wisdom of an all-wise God. God is so wise that he doesn't think the way we think. That's why his word says that my thoughts are not your thoughts. Do you hear me? He said, my thoughts are not your thoughts. So for he has created us, he has built us, he has set things before us. He knows exactly the time, the hour, the day of everything. So if you take time to just put your trust in him and let him have his way, you will be surprised at the things that you will accomplish. You will be surprised at the things that you overcome. You will be surprised at how far you have came from because you have put your hope and faith in him. See, I think about again how God allowed things to take place, thinking about Job. When God had already known that Job was going to be able to overcome the challenge that the enemy tries to throw at him. God already knew everything there possible was about his son. He had created him. And so in the midst of that, while the enemy thought that, oh, I can manipulate the situation by robbing him from everything that he loved, that he would curse God. But see, what he failed to realize is God who made him already knew what he was capable of doing. And so when the enemy decided to do what he did with Job, guess what? God still won at the end because he had allowed Job to show the enemy that he still believed in what God had said to him. And I love when Job said, and I remember he made the statement about how can he pretty much is not all the way from word to word, but he stated in a form of something like this is that how can I accept good, but yet not accept bad? You can't expect to always get good things and for not bad to take place because bad is needed at times in order for us to really trust God, in order for us to get down on our knees and begin to pray to God and ask God for things and much more. Because if we had everything that we possibly wanted, we wouldn't seek out God. We wouldn't develop the relationship that God desired for us to have. You got to remember, God is a God who is a jealous God. He don't want you to put nothing before him. He's a father. Think about it. If you have children and you decided you've been doing all these different things for them, but yet they put you last and put everybody else before you. You went through this birth and had this child. From my understanding, birth is something else. And so you went through all this time to go through what you went through. And yet for your child to put somebody above you, that is very hurtful. So I can imagine how God feels when we do things like that. So don't never underestimate what God is able to do. Because let me tell you, if he was able to do something in my life and allow me to make it to another level in this thing and going through the trials and tribulations that I have experienced, trust me, he's able to do it in yours. That's why testimonies is so important. because it allows us to be able to understand what the next man went through in order to be where they are at today. So don't never close your mouth and allow the enemy to make you feel like you don't need to give your testimony, because your testimony is needed. I'm telling you, your testimony is needed. And my last point is we overlook the one who possesses all power. We seek out different things and healing from other friends and family members, but yet we miss the main point. Seeking God for the healing and for the deliverance and much more. Yes, we can give the word of encouragement, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to receive what has been given. We can tap into certain things, but yet it's still up to God to allow those things to manifest. He has all power. He controls everything. So it's all up to him to do whatever it is that you're asking him to do. So don't never overlook what God is able to do. Don't overlook what he poses, which is the power that give us to be able to minister to people, be able to encourage one another, be able to lay hands and heal and much more. And sometimes we overlook that. And what I find interesting is when I say we overlook it is that we possess these powers, but when something come about, somehow we forget about it. We go into distress. We forget that, oh, you know what? When I needed a bill paid, God paid it. God made a way. He sent somebody my way. Or, we were searching out for answers and God turned around and gave us an answer through prophecy or something. And we forget about, if God did it then, he could do it now. So I want to encourage you. Do not underestimate what God is able to do. So I want to encourage you to keep pushing forth. Know that you know that you know, and hold on to every word of God. And let that faith that you have continue to stir up. Whether if it's just a little, because he said all it takes is a seed. All it takes something that's small, a mustard seed faith that can move a mountain. If that seed, think about it, that little bit seed can make a mountain move, just imagine more than that small seed of faith. So you hold on to that faith and you exercise it. I don't care. Like I said before, you don't focus on what you hear. You don't focus on what you see. You don't focus on none of that. But trust the word that God has said to you. It's not what you hear, it's how you hear it. It's not what you see, it's how you see it. So make a choice to choose what is best in order for you to move that mountain out the way. Because I know and I believe by faith that you have all power to do it. I'm telling you, if other was able to do it throughout the Bible, when you read different stories and people that you have been around, and me giving my testimony, I know that you're able to do it. So continue to hold on to your faith. Move that mountain, because I know it's about to be moved. God got great things in store for you. Always remember, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And continue to allow God to use you and let his will be done in your life. And don't be distracted by the people that surround you, because the enemy will use your closest friend, your closest family members, your closest co-worker. He will use whatever it is that's closer to you that he know that is going to touch your heart and cause you to be moved by whatever it is and get off a track of what God has set before you. You are more than that. So that's all I wanted to share with you. And I hope it be a blessing to you. Feel free, to comment on the message if anything that you have questions about or whatever the case may be. I'm all here. I want to open this thing up because I love discussions. I love talking about different things. Even if you have ideas of topic that you would love for me to talk about, feel free to add that on here as well, because I'm all open. I'm excited for what God got for you. I'm excited for what he's doing in my life. I'm excited where God is about to take us all, as long as we don't faint not. Like my message said yesterday, do not faint not, because I'm telling you, the reward is so beneficial that is right around the corner for you. I'm telling you, it's right there. It's in arm reach. It's in hand touch. So hold on. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. And know that the Lord loves you and I love you too. Have a good one.